我是二曲，
我是 David。
今天我们要来聊一下东西方有什么不同。
That's right。
我们都已经知道，到美国不要跟人家聊一些人种啊，或者是薪水的问题。但是呢，上网一查，发现还不止这些不能聊，很多不能聊
That's right. There are a lot of things that are difficult about American culture. It's not easy to live in America. That's why I come to Taiwan.
真的哦。
That's why I come to Taiwan.
反正现在我们也不能去美国，那不如我们就在台湾先学一点美国的禁忌。
American taboos.
首先第一个就是不给小费，但是小费到底怎么回事？其实我们真的弄不清楚所以不给小费是禁忌。
It's kind of important to American culture to tip. And the tipping culture in America is kind of unique as well. So the idea is that everyone gets tips who works in a service industry job, which means waiters and waitresses, taxi drivers, the people who carry your luggage at a hotel. And the reason why there's such a big tipping culture in America is because people who work in those jobs, they have comparatively lower salaries. So when you tip them, you're actually helping them pay for their daily needs.
那通常小费要给多少？
So usually it's between 15 and 25%. That's if you're at a restaurant or something. If it's a taxi driver, then you can tip $3 or $5 or something like that.
好，下一题就是在公共区域不能喝酒。
不能喝酒，对。
为什么？
The short answer is I don't know why. But the longer answer is that America has sort of a complicated relationship with alcohol. A little history lesson. In 1920 to 1933, it became illegal to make or sell alcohol or transport alcohol in the US because they thought that it was immoral. So that was illegal for a while. It created all these social problems and riots and stuff, and then they eventually put it back in. So like, okay, you can drink. But now in most cities, you are not able to drink in public. And the laws that govern this are called open container laws.
那我再确认一次，所以是在公共区域就不能出现有酒瓶、酒杯、啤酒瓶这种。
对，没错，都不行。
第三个就是每个人点的东西都到齐了才一起吃。
I've noticed that in Taiwan, like when you're out on a lunch break with your coworkers, people just can start eating as soon as their food arrives.
对，因为我们就中午时间很短，然后赶时间赶快吃一吃。
对，但是在美国有点不一样。
所以热狗也是，你拿到热狗啊，我还没拿到，你就不能吃。
I mean, it would not really be polite if, you know, you're still waiting for your food, my hot dog comes and I just start like, you know. Typically, we just sort of politely wait for everyone to receive their food before we all start eating. But sometimes, like if they order something that's going to take a long time or they know you're in a hurry, then they might say like, oh, you go ahead and start. Or you might say like, oh, I have to be back to the office soon. Do you mind if I start? And they're like, fine.
先吃咯，不好意思。第四个，我真的觉得特别难克服，就是眼神交流。对，因为我们亚洲人会害羞，我们讲话讲一讲，眼睛瞟一下，眼睛瞟一下，我们就不会一直盯人家看。可是我跟我的美国同事，他们就真的这样，一直盯。Why? Tell me why? 为什么？
Okay, so
看成这样，看到我的灵魂里面。
they get on your liquid limit. In America, making eye contact with someone when you're talking to them, it shows self-confidence, it shows friendliness. If you really can't make eye contact with someone and you're talking to an American, that can be mistaken as you being like you're not confident, like you feel like you're being yelled at, like you're someone that maybe is not trustworthy because you can't look them in the eye when you tell them something. Like in America, when you are telling someone something or trying to give them some directions or something, you need to look them in the eye, or else they're going to feel like you're not being honest or you don't have confidence.
第五个，我还可以有点理解，就是我们不要谈人家财务上面的事情。可是我们是连就说，你买这个东西多少钱都不能问啊。比如说我同事说，你的钱包新的多少钱？你刚买车哦，这多少钱？
So for Americans, stuff with money is just more sensitive.
Why?
And I don't exactly know why. I really don't. But like, for example, if someone bought a new car, if you ask them, oh, how much did you pay for this? Unless you express that you want to buy a car or you want to buy that kind of car and you really just want to know how much they paid for it, it's not a casual conversation. People might think that like, oh, are they trying to compare me with someone? Are they, what's the meaning behind that question? So for example, if your American friend buys a new car and you want to be friendly about like, wow, hey, that's a nice car, you can just say something like, wow, that's a nice car. It must have cost you a fortune.
最近混得不错哦，这样子。今天的最后一个就是 personal space。
对 personal space. Americans love personal space. So this is something that I realized that when I came to Taiwan at first, that personal space is seen a little bit differently in Taiwan. For example, like you're at the McDonald's or something and you're getting your meal and you're paying for your food, right? The person behind you in America, like you're here, they're here. Like the line starts here and it goes back, right? And then you leave and then the next person steps up and then they have their space to do their transaction. In Taiwan, it's like, like right there. That is NG in America. Another thing, in Taiwan, you're walking down the street and like you just like whack into somebody.
Yeah.
And you just like turn and just keep walking.
对.
It's because it's like everyone's close together. You bumped into someone, no big deal. NG in America, if you are walking down the street and you bump into somebody, you turn, you make eye contact, you say, excuse me, or, oh, I'm sorry, pardon me, something. Because if you don't, that person will possibly feel very disrespected and you might start a fight.
以上就是今天的好想讲英文，相信大家经过这一集以后就比较明白这是东西方的差异哦。
That's right. Smash that like button. Let us know if there are any other questions that you have about American culture that we can answer for you. And be sure to click subscribe.